Hi friends, now today we are going to discuss about our environment and our concern. Okay, so every living organism are living in our surroundings and we are sharing our surroundings. Okay, and we are interacting each other. So that physical and biological and chemical interaction of organism with its environment is called what, Nana? With its surroundings is called our environment. The physical, biological, chemical interactions of living organism with its surroundings called environment. And in that environment, we have so many physical factors like light, water, soil. Okay, these are all called what, Anna? Abiotic factors or physical factors. Okay, that are called abiotic factors. What are that, Anna? Light, sunlight and air, water and soil. Okay, and all the living organisms, living things like plants and animals, are called what, Nana? Biotic components. Okay, so all these biotic and abiotic components are interacting with each other, and they are also interacting with what, Nana? Environment, with the surroundings like physical factors, biological factors, chemical factors, etc. Whenever they are living together, what, Nana? So they also sometimes damage the environment, or they disturb the environment while they are extracting the food materials, while they are living inside the surroundings. Okay, and how they are dependent each other, how the biotic and abiotic factors dependent on each other, and how they are uh, maintaining the balance between them, and how they are sometimes causes imbalance, or how they are disturbing the equilibrium of the nature or of the environment, we'll discuss in this lesson. Okay, the place where the living organisms are living are also called as what, Nana? Biosphere. Okay, so in this biosphere only all the biotic and abiotic components can share and interact with each other. Okay, now these relationships between the living things are studied in our previous classes like 8th and 9th classes with the help of what, Nana? Food chains and food webs. Food chains and food webs. So in the previous class like 8th and 9th classes, we have studied in the different ecosystems lesson, etc. about food chains and food webs. So what is mean by food chains, Anna? The relationship between the living organisms, and what to eat and how to eat. So food chains are expressing what, Nana? So what to eat and how to eat. And the arrows between the interlinking of food chains are expressing what, Nana? What is the food of the living thing and what is the feeder. Arrows in a food chain is expressing what, Nana? What is the food material and what is the feeder. And what is how to eat and what to eat also expressed by the food chains. And food chains are not in a simple manner, Nana. They are connected. So many food chains are interlinked with each other, connected with each other, and they forms what, Nana? Food web like structure. So in an ecosystem or a biosphere or environment, no single food chain can persist. So all one living organism may be food for more than one animal, and one animal can collect more than one type of food material. So all the food chains are interlinked with each other and connects or joins together called a food web, a network like a structure. So by taking one example, we can discuss what is a food chain and what is food and what is feeder. For example, take grass. Yes, and in the same place we have one rabbit is there, and one snake, and eagles are there. Okay, so in this four type of living things, if we draw a food chain, means which animal or which living thing is taking food from which. For example, see, so these arrow marks are showing what, Nana? So grass is a food for rabbit, and rabbit is a food for snakes, and snake is a food for eagles. So this is called a food chain. Food chain means what, Nana? The food and feeder. It is explaining about the food and feeder. Okay. So in this way, the food is reaching from one level to the another level. Okay, now you can observe so many food chains in your surroundings. Okay, and draw them in the form of chain, Nana. For example, grass. Okay, and this grass eaten by deers and other herbivorous animals in a forest, and they are eaten by fox, and these are all eaten by tigers or lions, etc. If you observe in our surroundings, most of the food chains are not more than the 4 levels. Not more than the 4 levels. Sometimes they are 3 levels or sometimes 4 levels. Most of the food chains are very less to 4 chains. 4 levels. For example, if you take grass again, grass is eaten by what, Nana? Grasshopper. Grasshopper. This is an insect. It is eaten by frogs, and these frogs are eaten by what, Nana? Snakes, and these snakes are eaten by eagles. So very rare cases these food chain consist what, Nana? 5th level. In all these food chains at the base level, what they are, Nana? They are called producers. Always in the food chain, the base level starts with what, Nana? Food providers or food producers. So first level belongs to producers, and remaining all what, Nana? They can't produce their own food. They depend on the plants and other living things for their food. So that's why they are called as what, Nana? Consumers. They are called as consumers. Okay. So this is primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Okay. In this one, Nana, this is primary, secondary, tertiary, and this is here top level carnivorous will comes. Okay. So in each and every food chain, sometimes it may be 3 levels, sometimes 4 levels, and sometimes 5 levels. Very rarely 5 levels, Nana. So each level is called what, Nana? Tropic levels. Tropic levels. Okay, now they are called what, Nana? Tropic levels. Okay. So in this each and every food chain, what, Nana? Whenever we are moving forward, means from producers to consumers, sometimes what happens, Nana? The food which is available in each tropic level also decreases, and also the number of living organisms, the number of living organisms in each level will also decrease. And sometimes in very rare cases, what happens, Nana? Even the size of the living organism will also increase in a food chain from producers to where, Nana? They're in the consumers. Okay. Now, how these food chains are interlinked with each other, but just take an example. Okay. For example, in a place of a field, crop field or forest, there are so many aphids are there, and these aphids insects are eaten by some other insect eating animals, for example, these insects and their larvae are eaten by what, Nana? Aphids, grasshoppers, or sometimes wasp, bees, etc. And all these aphids and insects are eaten by what, Nana? Insect eating animals, like insectivorous birds. And all these insectivorous birds are eaten by what, Nana? The largest birds like hawk and eagle, etc. And these hawks and eagles not only eating the birds, they are also eating some small sized mammals and other birds, etc. So food chains are not in a single line, and they are not looks very simple. They are very complex, and so many chains are interlinked with each other, and having more, each and every animal having more than one food. Yes, and also it is a prey for more than one animal. So because of these interlinks, that food chains are together looks like a web-like structure, Nana, that is called a food web. Okay, in each and every food web, the animals have specific place for them, Nana. Each and every food web, in that each and every animal have their specific role or specific place. So that is called as what, Nana? Niche. That is called what, Nana? Niche. By taking one example, we can understand what is niche. So for example, you can take any area of forest like a deciduous forest or green forest, etc. So there are so many animals are there, nana, like for example here plants are eaten by deer, and here some grass are there, grass, so they are eaten by some uh, aphids or aphids or some grasshoppers, etc. And here some other larvas, etc. And this deer is eaten by what, nana? Fox, and this fox is eaten by tiger, and these aphids are eaten by frogs and snakes and what, nana? Eagle. Okay, and larvas are eaten by what, nana? Insectivorous birds, and these birds are eaten by eagles, etc. If you take a food web, every living organism have a specific place for them, and that place is called what, nana? Niche. So niche is nothing but, nana, a place that shows what is its food, what is its food, and what is its mode of food, and what is the place of, means of to what it is a food material. Means that niche explains what, nana? The mode of food material, how it is taking, and what is its prey and what is its predator is explained by niche. So niche is like simple, like a, nana, habitat. Niche is like a what, nana? Habitat. Habitat is explaining what, nana? Only a living place. Habitat is explaining what, nana? A living place of an organism. But here niche explains what, nana? The mode of what its business, how it is getting its organisms, and how it is a prey for the other organisms. For example, this deer can catch what, nana? All the food material by directly swallowing. Grass is eaten by the aphids by what, nana? By sucking the juice. And here same grass is eaten by larvas. So larvas have some jaws and teeth, so they cut the leaves and they take the food material. So here plants and grass are the same, nana, what? They are all producers, but these different kinds of herbivorous animals are taking the food material in a different mode. So one is directly swallowing and digesting inside, one is sucking the juice, and here one is crushing or cutting the leaf in their mouth. So Nietzsche explains what, nana? About its business, means what, nana? What it is doing, how it is getting its materials, etc. Okay, so this is about the food chain and food web. Okay, next the relationship between the living organisms is also explained by using pyramids, nana. So what are pyramids? Generally we have seen pyramids in the Egypt. Okay, generally we have seen what, nana? Pyramids in the Egypt, and this pyramid concept is used in what, nana? To identifying the relationship or to establishing the relationship in the living organism, how the food is transferred from one level to another level. So it is one of the another graphic representation like a food chain. Simply, what is a pyramid, nana? What is pyramid? So pyramid is nothing but, nana, a graphic representation of each tropic level of an ecosystem. Means how the food is transferred from one chain or one level to the another level, or one organism to the another organism in an ecosystem, is explained in the form of a graphical representation called pyramids. So these pyramids are what? Egypt pyramids, we have already seen. Okay, and these pyramids which are used for explaining the relationship between one living thing to another living thing, or explain how the food is transporting from one tropic level to the another tropic level. So that's why they are also called as what, nana? Ecological pyramids. They are also called as ecological pyramids. Okay, and this word ecological pyramid introduced by what, nana? Chansley, A.G. Chansley, in the year 1927, nana. In the year 1927, for the first time these ecological pyramids were used by the Chansley in the year 1927. Okay, now these ecological pyramids are three types. What is, nana? One is number pyramid. Second one, biomass pyramid, and third one, what, nana? energy pyramid. Energy pyramid means what, Nana? So these three pyramids are explaining the relationship, food relationship between the living organism, how the number in each and every tropical level is changing, and how the biomass is changing in every tropical level, and how the energy is changing in every tropical level is explained by these three pyramids. Okay, and what is the structure of the pyramid? Generally, if you observe the outer surface of the pyramid, it is a triangle. According to geometry, it is a triangle in nature, and all the tips of the triangle are convergent, means attached together. All the tips of the triangles are convergent, means attached together. And the base of the pyramid may be trilateral or quadrilateral or polygonal. So what is mean by trilateral? Trilateral means three. So three triangle shaped outer surfaces are attached together. Okay. Quadrilateral means four. Okay, and poly means what? No, more than. Polygonal means more than. Four triangles are attached and the tips attached in the top, and the bottoms are attached in the bottom. Okay, the narrow part are attached at the top and wider part attached at the bottom by making the shape of, again, triangle at the bottom, or square at the bottom, or polygonal shape at the bottom. So generally we use what, Nana? Quadrilateral triangles or quadrilateral pyramids, which is having a square shape at the bottom. So almost the pyramids of Egypt, Giza pyramid is also what, Nana? At the base they have quadrilateral, means all the sides, four sides, four triangles are attached together. Okay. Now what is mean by number pyramid? So whenever scientists are started to study the relationship between the living things, about their food and how the food is transferring from one tropic level to another tropic level, they also showed interest to find out the number of living organisms in each and every tropic level. So whenever scientists started to identify how the food is transferring from one tropic level to another tropic level, so they also showed interest to find out how the number is changing from one tropic level to another tropic level. So that's why they constructed what, Nana? Are they graphically represented how the number is changing in tropic levels by showing a number pyramid. Okay, so for this we need to use different words, Nana. To determine the number of organisms, we need to use different words like what, Nana? For example, I am drawing one pyramid. So at the base, what they are always, Nana? Always they are plants, also called as producers. Plants always called as producers. Second place, what, Nana? Second, third, fourth places are all consumers, Nana. Here herbivorous animals. Herbivorous animals are also called as primary consumers. Primary consumers. Herbivorous animals. Okay. And the second level what, Nana? Secondary consumers. Secondary consumers are also called as carnivorous animals. Here tertiary consumers, and here top level carnivorous. So to determine the number of living organisms in each and every tropical level, we need to use some words: most, many, several, few, and very few. So these words we need to use to identify the different living organisms in each and every tropic level. For example, if you observe the pyramid, what, Nana? Number pyramid. If we observe the number pyramid, in each and every tropic level, from producers to consumers, if we go from producers to consumers in each and every tropic level, what nana, the number of living organisms decreases. And also if we observe very clearly, the size of the living organism will also increase. The size of the living organisms will also increase. Okay, now for example, take a forest is there, and in that there are millions of aphids are present in that, and the size of the aphids are very small, and the number is numerous number of astronomical units. Okay, more number of aphids are there. First place, sorry, here in the first place, what are producers? What are producers? Nana? More number of plants. So more number of plants are there, nana. So that are producers. In the second level, what nana? Many. So there so many number of aphids are dependent on what nana? Producers. The number of producers are many. Okay. So here aphids are many, which are dependent on producers. Then, so these aphids are the food material for what nana? Some insectivorous birds. Some insectivorous birds. And these birds are the food material for what nana? Eagles. Eagles, sometimes they are what nana? Tertiary consumers or top level consumers. So if you observe once these food number pyramid, so top bottom what nana? Always bottom is completely producers nana. These producers are many, most of the number nana, and aphids which are dependent here what nana? Aphids which are dependent on producers or plants are many in number, means their little bit number is decreased from producers to primary consumers. So their number decreased from one tropical level to another tropical level. Then if you observe to the next level, secondary consumers, the number of birds is very less while we are comparing with the aphids. Then again, if you comparing with the number of birds to the eagle or hawk in an ecosystem, their number may be 1 or 2 or couple, etc. So in a number pyramid, always what is happening nana? The number from one tropical level to the another tropical level is decreasing, and the size what nana? Increasing. For example, the aphids size is too negligible while we are comparing with the bird's size, and the eagle size is more than the bird's size. So in the number pyramid, always the size is increasing and the number is decreasing. Okay. So for example, take one more example, nana. Banyan tree. On the banyan tree there are some insects are there, nana, and on the insects one woodpecker bird is there. One woodpecker. So if we draw the number pyramid, for this, what happens, nana? So if you observe the pyramids, they are always in upright position. They are always upright position. But sometimes these pyramids are not in upright position, and sometimes they are also not look like a pyramid if the producer is only one plant. If producer is only one plant, these pyramids are not looks like a pyramid structure. Okay, whenever that producer is only one banyan tree and one on that number of insects are dependent, and these insects are the food for only one woodpecker. Okay, so maximum all the pyramids, number pyramid and biomass pyramid and energy pyramid, all are looks an upright position, but in very few cases they are not look like an upright, and sometimes they are even not look like a pyramid structure also. Okay, now next, biomass pyramid. Next, biomass pyramid. So what is mean by biomass? Biomass pyramid, an organic material which is available in each tropic level is called biomass. How this biomass will be produced? For example, you know that the plants can produce their food material by trapping solar energy, means using solar energy. by getting carbon dioxide from the environment and by getting water and minerals from the soil with the help of roots. Yes, and they prepare the food material. They prepare the food material in the form of glucose. Yes, and this food material is what Nana source for the next trophic level. So that food material is called what Nana? Biomass. That organic material is called the biomass. So always the quantity of the food material which is available in each and every trophic level is called what Nana? Biomass of a trophic level. Okay, examples what Nana? All the plants, okay, and shrubs, algae, etc., and even plants like their fruits and branches, leaves, and animals and their wastages and dried leaves, etc., everything comes under biomass. Okay, any plant and animal matter, which can be used to produce energy, that is called what Nana? Biomass. Any plant or animal matter which can be used to produce the energy is called biomass. Nana? If we use this biomass to produce energy, they are called as what Nana? Biofuels. They are called biofuels. Any plant matter or animal matter which is helpful for the production of energy, that is called biomass. And if we use this biomass to produce the energy to run something or to function something, that is called the biofuels. Okay, so because of solar energy, plants are trapping, and with the help of carbon dioxide and water, they are putting or they are preparing or synthesizing the food material and storing in them. So whenever these plants are eaten by the next level of primary consumers like herbivorous animals, okay, the total biomass is not transferred to the next level. Almost 80 to 90% of food material or energy is dissipated into the atmosphere, environment, means they lost 80 to 90% of the energy and food material or biomass, they lost into the environment. Only 10 to 20% of the biomass or food material or energy is transferred to the next level. What happens to this 80 to 90%? So generally, plants, by using solar energy, they produced food material, and in that they use that food material for the other processes like respiration, transportation, etc. To run that mechanisms, they need energy. So to produce energy, they use this food material. And even, for example, these animals, primary consumers, have taken this food material. Whenever they take the food material, lot of food material gets undigested, and this undigested food material is not utilized for the formation of biomass. And even lot of food material or biomass is used in the process of respiration, to get or to produce energy. So the lot of biomass is excreted, which is undigested, and lot of material which is digested is used in the process of respiration for production of energy and to perform lot of activities, etc. Only less percentage, only 10 to 20% of biomass is transferred to the next level. For example, the biomass of all the plants is the food for what Nana? Primary consumers like aphids. And the biomass of all the aphids is the food for what Nana? Birds. The total biomass of the birds is the food for eagles. Okay. Unfortunately, the animals are very inefficient to converting all the food material what they have taken into their proteins or tissues, etc. For example, imagine if they obtain 100% of the food from the plants to herbivorous animals. In them 80 to 90% they lost during the undigested food, during the excretion process, and they lost in the respiration process to produce energy to perform remaining process. Only 10% of energy or biomass is utilized in the conversion of their body tissues. Their body tissue. So, if 100% producers are consumed by the effects, only 10% of their body weight increases. Means only 10% of biomass increases. So, every tropical level, so the same thing will happen. From each and every tropic level, what happens now? 80 to 90% they lost, and only 10 to 20% is reaching to the next level. Okay, now in this way, what is happening now? The food, the materials, inorganic materials by the photosynthesis process entering into their body. From the plants, they are entering into animals, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. So whenever they die or whenever the plants shed off their leaves, again they are reaching to the ground. So the minerals and elements are removed from the ground and entering into the plant body. From there, entering into the animal bodies. Whenever they die, again they are reaching to the ground. So in this way, always the minerals are moving in a cyclical manner. So these are cycles we have already studied in 9th class, biogeochemical cycles or mineral cycling, etc. Okay. So how these, for example, how these 80 to 90% of energy is lost? Why only 10 to 20% is converted into their tissues? By taking one example, we'll study now. For example, we take one food chain of pond ecosystem, which contains our sea ecosystem, which contains what, all the phytoplanktons which are floating on the water, and these phytoplanktons are the food material for what, zooplanktons. They are also floating animals but microscopic. Okay, and these zooplanktons are what, these zooplanktons are food for the small fishes and large fishes. Finally, the top carnivorous are human beings. By taking human beings food chain on the seed, we can identify, we can understand how the biomass is decreasing from one tropic level to the another tropic level. Let's see, in an ecosystem of a sea or a pond, etc., there is 1,000 cages of phytoplanktons are there. By eating these 1,000 cages, only the 100 cages weight they gained. Zooplanktons are gained 100 cages. And by eating these 100 cages, fishes can gain only 10 cages of weight. By eating these 10 cages, human beings gained only 1 kg weight. By eating 10 kgs of fishes, we gain only what, 1 kg of weight as our tissue formation. Okay, so let's see, in each and every stage what is happening, 90% of the food or 90% of biomass is lost into the environment during the two process. One is excretion of undigested food. Second one, what, the which is not assimilated, like respiration, breakdown of food material to produce energy to perform other mechanisms, etc. So here, if there is a less number of tropic levels, the living things will get more energy, and the animals which are very near, to the producers or plants, they will get a more amount of biomass. The animals which are very closer to the producers will get more amount of food material, and even if the less number of tropic levels in a food chain or in a pyramid, more amount of food or more amount of biomass will transfer. Okay, so almost every pyramid is what, in an upright position. And take one more example of pond ecosystem or aquatic ecosystem. So, for example, the same example, phytoplanktons. Phytoplanktons are the food providers or food sources. By the process of photosynthesis they produced the food material. By the process of photosynthesis they produced the food materials. Okay, phytoplanktons. So and their weight is what, Nana? Very negligible. Phytoplanktons. Their weight is what, Nana? Very negligible. And these phytoplanktons are the food for what, Nana? Zooplanktons. So while we are comparing with the phytoplanktons, zooplanktons weight is little bit more. Yes, and these zooplanktons are what, Nana? Food for water, fishes. And while we are comparing the zooplanktons, these fishes weight is little bit more, Nana. And these fishes, small fishes are the food for what, Nana? Blue whales and other big animals, aquatic animals, etc. Now if you observe the biomass, pyramid of an aquatic ecosystem, it what, Nana? Looks not upright position, inverted position. If you observe the pyramid, of an aquatic ecosystem, it is not always upright, Nana. For example, the whales biomass is more than the fishes, and fishes biomass is more than the zooplanktons, and the zooplanktons biomass is more than the phytoplanktons. That's why this pyramid is not upright, Nana. This is inverted pyramid. So important for 4 marks. But always remember one thing, Nana. Even though the pyramid is upright or inverted, always the plants at the base. Why? Because they are the universal food providers. They produce food material by trapping solar energy. Okay. Now, next what, Nana? Energy pyramid. Next, energy pyramid. So what is the major source of energy, Nana? Always food. So it is also, the pyramid looks like a biomass pyramid. So always energy is produced from the food material, and the food is what, Nana? One type of chemical energy. Stored in the form of potential energy. And how these energy derived or entered into the food, means how it is called as a chemical energy. So generally you know that plants can produce food material by the process of what, Nana? Photosynthesis. So this food material which is produced by the plants by the process of photosynthesis is the food for total living organism in the worldwide. So they are what, Nana? Trapping all the inorganic elements, and they are converting all the inorganic elements into the food source. They are converting the inorganic elements into the source of energy, that is called food material, and this food material is the source for all the living organism entire the world. Okay, now so by using this food material only, they perform so many mechanisms like what, Nana? Respiration and other process. Okay, now to perform all the functions they need a food material. Okay, and if you observe any pyramid, any food chain, so always this food always at the bottom what, Nana? They have plants. They have what, Nana? Always at the bottom plants and primary consumers and secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. So here what happened, Nana? Plants produced energy. In that energy are produced food material, and in that food material they utilize very less amount of food material. Into the construction of their tissues. So if we compare with animals, plants are very inefficient to convert into the food material. So plants can prepare their food material, and they use this food material in the construction of or development of their organs. Okay, and remaining percentage of food material is utilized in the respiration to break down and to release energy. So very less amount of energy. So here 80 to 90% is dissipated. Only less amount of 10% of energy is passed to the next level. And these energies, 10% of energy is utilized by the primary consumers. In then 80 to 90% again dissipated in the form of undigested food materials like hair, exoskeleton, bones, pinna, etc. Okay, undigested food is excreted, and remaining food is used in the production of heat energy and to produce energy to perform different functions. Again, very less percentage is utilized in the formation of their tissues. So from here again 10% is passed to the secondary level. Okay, so always the same thing happens in each and every tropic level. Every level 80 to 90% of the energy is dissipated into the atmosphere, that is lost. That cannot be reverted back again. Only 10% of energy is transferred to the next level. So almost every ecosystem energy pyramid is always upright position. Okay, and if you observe the ecosystem or biosphere, there are different types of ecosystems are there on this earth. There are different types of ecosystems are there on this earth. They are geographically different from each other. For example, some ecosystems are near to the equatorial region, some are nearby the polar region. Yes, okay, and the atmospheric conditions are different in these two ecosystems. For example, if you take if you want to go the mountain trekking for Kilimanjaro, which is African equatorial region, or in India, Himalayas. At the base of the Himalayas, we see so many rainforests, and if we go to the top of the mountains, there we see snow falling mountains or snow falling forests, etc. Okay, and each and every ecosystem is influenced by rainfall. Each and every ecosystem is influenced by rainfall and temperature and the sunlight which is available. Sunlight and which is available in the ecosystem. Okay, and based on the rainfall, there may be rainfall forest and other forest. If there is a less amount of rainfall, that is a desert ecosystem. Okay, but that ecosystem, whether it is a rainfall ecosystem or desert ecosystem, based on the rainfall, but the type of forest is dependent on temperature and availability of the light. So in the different ecosystems we have different food chains, and they are explained in a graphical representation by the pyramids. So that are three types. Just now we have discussed pyramid of energy, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of number. Okay, now if you have any doubts regarding these pyramids and food chains and other issues on ecosystem, you can text in the comment box. Until bye.